Hi, I hope you're doing well. I have been trying to brainstorm what kind of video I could film because I just want to share with you what I've been knitting recently, but I don't want there to be any expectation that I'm going to finish any of my knitting projects in this video because I'm knitting on like 3 different things at the exact same time and I think they're all going to be kind of longer term projects. So I thought that I could time myself while I'm knitting with my phone stopwatch and see how much knitting I get done in 12 hours. Initially I was thinking 24 because that sounds more clickbaity, but realistically I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do 24 hours of knitting while I'm still here in beautiful Sri Lanka, but I think 12 hours seems reasonable. This idea is very heavily inspired by Katie Snooks over on Instagram. She's been doing this reel series where she times how long it takes for her to make one of her knitting projects. And it's actually so interesting to see because like I can tell you how long it takes me to knit something in terms of how many weeks it takes me, but hours wise I've got no idea because I just like zone out and I don't tally it up and I've no idea if a sweater takes me like 20 hours or 40. I know that when I work with thinner yarns the progress is obviously a lot slower, but I don't know exactly how much slower. Like fingering weight projects feel like they take twice as long as DK weight, but I don't know if I'm getting the ratios right or if the time feels like it's dragging longer than it actually does because I'm not seeing the knitting progress and not being motivated by that. So this week at least I'll hopefully get some insight into my knitting speed. I've got a bunch of projects on the go, but I've got 3 main ones that I want to share with you in this video. So this project I actually started last night and I feel really relieved to have finally cast this on because this is going to be a Christmas gift knit, and having like made the first step is like the main thing in knitting something that I don't have the motivation to make for myself. So I'm making a pair of socks. I'm as yet undecided on whether or not these are going to be for my dad or my mum. I bought this yarn initially with the purpose of making socks for my mum, but then my dad specifically requested some fingering weight socks for Christmas and I don't know if I have it in me to make 2 pairs of fingering weight socks. I got this yarn in a shop in Poland. I've kept the tag so I can tell you exactly what it is. This is from the brand Woolly Hugs. This is their year socks in the shade number 2. It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and it's a really cool gradient between brown and red and pink and peach. So far I've just done the ribbing for one of the socks. The gradient's already looking really beautiful and I'm following the same pattern that I always follow for making fingering weight socks. It is the Favorite Socks by Kristen Leher. This is a free pattern and it's worked perfectly like twice before, and my favorite thing about this pattern, the reason that I chose it, is that it recommends 2.5mm needles. I think most fingering weight patterns recommend 2.25, so this makes it feel like it's gonna go by just that little bit faster. I also always make the ankle part of my socks a lot shorter than any pattern recommends, which helps with speeding it up because I don't really like socks that hit mid-calf. So there's actually not that much more to do with this one particular sock before I start doing the heel flap. So I'll be interested to see how much of the sock I can knit this week within the 12 hours. Because if I can make some decent progress, that is a lot of motivation for me to actually get on to the second sock. Project number 2 is something that I showed in my last knitting podcast. I am freehanding, self-drafting, whatever you want to call it, a top out of this really nice sparkly silver DK weight cotton and acrylic blend. This is Rico metallized DK. I can't remember which shade it is off the top of my head, but I'll put it in the description. It's really, really pretty, and I have this idea to make an asymmetric hem, so I'm working bottom up. This is all I've got so far. There's so much more to do. But I haven't been working on this because there's 2 things going on in my brain. There's like the actual knitting, which is fairly slow. Like I'm doing this with 4mm needles. And then there's the construction part of it. And I want to get the construction done and down and while I'm motivated, but I actually need to just put the hours in and do the mindless stockinette at the same time as thinking about the construction, which is something new to me. Like I freehand knit very few things in the past, but I really want to advance my skills and I just won't stop thinking about how to execute the construction of this until I actually do it. Also, this is actually a really nice lineup because I have a fingering weight pattern, the socks, this is a DK weight, and the next one is a worsted weight. This is actually another gift knit. I've decided that I want to knit my mum a sweater for Christmas because she helps me so much with sewing stuff and I feel like it's time that I sort of pay her back. So I'm making her a jumper, but the thing thing is with the jumpers that she wears is that they're all tunic length. So there's going to be a lot of stockinette in the round with this. We've kind of designed this around her preferences, but I'm basically following the pattern of the Lindgren sweater by Knitting for Olive and just not doing any of the colour work of that, but exact same construction and stitch counts. I'm meeting gauge with it, and I've made that pattern before and really enjoyed knitting it. So this I'm knitting on 6mm needles. I am holding 2 yarns together. This is Drops, the tweed one. It's not its actual name, but they only make one tweed, and a strand of Drops kid silk. This sweater construction is bottom up, and it's got this really nice split hem detail. And to get the split hem, you have to make each of the hems separately, then do some short rows, and then join them together in the round. So I've done almost all of the hard work. I've made one side of it, and I just need to do the short rows for the second side. I'm actually thinking, because this is going to be like a hip length sweater, maybe it should be like a little bit of a high-low. So I might do some more short rows on this side just to try and get that effect. And then after I join in the round, I'm gonna have to knit like literally like that much. So it's gonna be stockinette, 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 which suits me fine. And it's gonna be nice once I get to that stage to have a project where there is no thinking involved. I'm also so excited to show you around the place where I'm gonna be knitting. Like, this room is just so stunning. I made a friend here, and she's just in the early stages of putting together this beautiful yoga and surf retreat with the accommodation as the suites, and I'm staying here like helping her get some content and like being the first trial guest basically, and I'm just having the time of my life here. It is so beautiful and peaceful. I feel really grounded and established here. We're traveling on a budget, so haven't had the chance to stay in many places that have like a lot of room and a lot of light, and just having a nicer place to come home to has completely changed like my productivity and my motivation. It's in Marissa, which is on the south coast of Sri Lanka. It's only like a 15-minute drive from Willagama, where I was staying in my last video, and it's so peaceful here. It's like kind of in the jungle, but only a 10-minute drive from like the town and the beach and the surf spots. There's a yoga shala here, there's like hammocks. I feel like I'm cosplaying as like a Bali influencer by being here. So yeah, you can see some beautiful shots of the property. The owner is my friend. She's letting me stay here for a super discounted price, but if you're in Sri Lanka, I recommend this place so much. It's called Birds of Paradise. And with that, got my stopwatch here. I'm not going to press go yet because I haven't picked up my needles, but maybe I'll take my socks to a hammock and see what happens. So here's the room tour. There is so much natural light. I love it. And there's an entire little kitchenette here. The bathroom's there. And then in that building over there, there is a little kitchen with a private chef, which is crazy. There's the car park where my bike is parked over there. And then through the jungle, past the lake with the lily ponds, there's a yoga like hut above the river that's so beautiful. So far I've been knitting for just under an hour and a half, and I've actually made some pretty decent progress on my socks. I finished the ankle bit. As you can see, I really wasn't joking when I said I like a short ankle cuff, and I've just finished doing the heel flap as well. So now I'm gonna do the heel turn bit where you pick up stitches on the side and it gives it the sort of triangle shape. of a sock. The yarn is so pretty. I did accidentally send a photo to my mum of me knitting this, so they're gonna have to be for my dad because I ruined the surprise. I think knitting socks with a yarn like this, like any sort of yarn that has a gradient or any variegation, makes the whole process so much more interesting. Because I always feel like socks take forever, but maybe they don't. I mean, I didn't time myself doing the ribbing, so I think that's an extra hour. This is probably like 2.5 hours worth of sock in total. But I will be switching up my projects just now because we're actually going to go on a safari to a national park. We're going to Udawalawa National Park and I'm hoping to see some elephants. The drive is 2 hours each way, so I want to bring a project that's just really super mindless. I sometimes get car sick, so if I can knit, the less I can look at it, the better. And so I will be taking this project because it's going to be really mindless until this is the circumference of my torso, which I think will take more than 2 or 3 hours to achieve. So I'm going to take my 4mm needles and add them back onto this cable so I can show the elephants what I'm knitting. I ended up getting really invested in my project yesterday and I knitted the entire evening, so I'm now at the 6-hour mark. I haven't yet touched my sweater project, but I have big updates on the other two. I say big updates. On the sock there isn't that much to talk about. I knitted on this for an hour this morning and I have now done the short rows that do the heel turn and I've started on the instep decreases. It's kind of crazy that just these few inches took me a whole hour, but I'm happy to be at this point now because from now on it's going to be more and more mindless until the sock is done. There is a fairly massive color discrepancy at the front of the foot that I kind of wish wasn't there, but like in order to make it not there then there'd have to be a color change somewhere else around the back of the foot, so I'm just letting it be. But the project that I started getting really excited about is my asymmetric top. This is where the bulk of my hours have been going. And I took it off the needles because I did my first try on last night. I have a lot of thoughts, but first I'll talk you through what I've done. So it's not the easiest to show you right now because it keeps wanting to wind up on itself. So I started making this triangle that's going to be the bottom of the asymmetric hem. Then while in the car to Udawalawa National Park, which was amazing by the way, like proper bucket list moment, an elephant touched me. Which I didn't think I'd ever get to experience because I'm not into like the whole like riding elephants or giving elephants a mud bath. I wanted to leave the elephants well alone, but they came to me. But in the car I sort of realized that if I did increases all the way around the body, this triangle is going to be really, really long and probably longer than I want it to. So I stopped knitting in the car until I got back so I could have a look at it in the mirror. And then I realized that what I wanted to do was just cast on stitches for half of the body and have the triangle drape down the other half of the body. So then I was trying to be clever and do some maths to figure out exactly how many stitches I wanted to increase and decrease to do like waist shaping and then bust shaping. So I figured out where I wanted this to sit on my hips. I did some decrease rows, and then I started doing some increase rows for it to like slant up towards the bust. And in my head it was all going swimmingly until I tried it on, and I think I'll just show you so you can see what I'm talking about. Down a bit. You see that? Yeah. So this is the vision. This was what I was going for. I really like the slope of the asymmetric hem. I think with blocking and maybe putting something heavy at the bottom of the triangle, this will weigh it down and it'll look even better. But the sizing is just like so wrong. Like, look how much it's draping in the back. I think this has happened because I've been trying to work to a 0 ease, and at the bottom hem I think it necessarily has to be 0 ease minimum, because if this is tight then the asymmetric hem just curls up. So the bottom cast on I think is right, but I think I was wrong to start increasing again so quickly. I double checked my gauge, I double checked my stitches, and I double checked my measurements. This is the size that I intended it to be, like I did the maths right, but I think I just didn't account for what ease would look good on my body. But what I need to do to make this look good is frog the last 18 rows where I've done my increases, take it back to where I stopped doing my waist decreases and just keep decreasing to get more of that negative ease, and then not even think about increases until I get to like right under the underbust. I'm not sure what exact ease to aim for. I think maybe -1 inch. But what I'm realizing is actually it's really hard for me to measure the exact circumference of my waist, because I was first taking my waist measurement like fully relaxed, belly hanging out a bit, because I want to allow for that amount of space and like after having a big meal. But I actually think I need to be taking my waist measurement when I'm like fully just standing up straight. So unfortunately the sort of timer challenge part of this video is not going to be fully accurate, because I'm going to be frogging about maybe an hour or an hour and a half's worth of work. But it's for the greater good, and I think probably just a good reminder that knitting isn't always forward progress, especially if you're me and it's like your second time ever freehanding anything. It looks massive when I hold it up, right? Like, I am really enjoying working with this Ricoh Metallized DK yarn. I think the yarn is just more and more beautiful the bigger the garment gets. And I was a bit worried about it feeling like sort of scratchy, because it's not a very soft fabric, but even on my sensitive skin I can't feel the scratchiness at all. This is also my second bowl of yarn. I think I ran out of my first bowl maybe like 10 rows ago, so I'll probably go back to that first bowl when I frog this. But I'm actually feeling really optimistic about this project, because I really wasn't sure about how this asymmetric hem would even sit on my body, and I think it's actually looking okay. I've actually found a really good hairdresser in the next town over in Matara, and I was lucky enough to be able to get an appointment for tomorrow. So I'll be in the hairdresser's chair for a few hours tomorrow. I'm going to get a balayage. It's my first time dyeing my hair in maybe like almost 2 years. I've had some kind of blonde in my hair for almost all my adult life, and this is my first time having my natural hair color, and I just can't do it. I just think I look a little bit better with a little bit more blonde, but I can never justify the price at home, so I'm really excited to get it done here. I also was doing my makeup this morning, and I want to share with you the products that I've been using while I'm here, because I brought a full face of makeup with me, but I've only been reaching for like 4 products, but those 4 products have become my like ride or dies. They're like waterproof, sweat proof, last all day, can't feel them on my skin, which is really nice when I'm sweaty. And for me, I never feel that strongly about makeup products. So the 2 things that I've been using on my eyes are a waterproof liquid eyeliner and a waterproof mascara. This liquid eyeliner is from NYX. It's the Epic Wear one. I've had this for about a year. This is actually in a dark brown color, but it's one of those dark browns that's basically almost black, and it's not the very easiest winged eyeliner to achieve, but it does not budge, and it doesn't dry out within 3 months either, like so many eyeliners do. I'll definitely be buying this again when I run out. And my mascara I actually bought in Berlin. It's from the brand Catrice. I don't know if you can actually get this in the UK, but it's a brown waterproof mascara, and it is properly brown and properly waterproof, which is so hard to find. Also, this was like €4 or something. So if you're blonde or a light brunette and you're living in Germany or another country that carries Catrice, I think you really like this. This is the Glam & Doll Volume Brown Mascara Waterproof. Then speaking of products that are actually good for blondes, I did bring my eyebrow dye kit with me. I dyed my eyebrows freshly today, and dyeing my eyebrows is like one of my favorite like beauty things to do because it takes 5 minutes and it lasts like 3 weeks and makes such a difference. My eyebrow dye kit is from Sassy Saints, and the reason that I like this dye over the cheaper like Isler or Miley eyebrow dyes is because this kit comes with 2 shades of brown, and so you can like mix your perfect custom shade. My perfect shade is 1 of each, but if you're properly blonde, this is the only eyebrow dye kit that I've seen that offers actual light shade of brown. And my last ride or die product is the Wonderskin lip mask. This is in the shade Romance. This is one of those fake viral products that you've probably seen on TikTok where they have like this insanely expensive marketing campaign that involves sending like everyone on TikTok one of these for free in exchange for making a video. That's actually how I got my hands on this. I got sent this via TikTok shop in exchange for making a video when I had like 2,000 TikTok followers, and I was like, yeah, sure. But it's got this bright purple guide color, and you leave it on for a minute and wipe it away and it leaves your lips with a really nice tint. I love the idea of lip tints, but I've never found anything that works for me before. Like most of them are that bright fuchsia pink color. They leave my lips feeling dry, and they also like transfer when you try and put a balm or a gloss on top of it. This doesn't do any of these things. It's like completely transfer proof, lasts all day, looks super natural, and I can't feel it on my lips. It feels like my natural lips. So no one asked, but those are my waterproof makeup recommendations. My number one is this mascara though. Like, it's so good, and mascara prices have just been getting more and more and more expensive. So the fact you can get something this good for like under €5 is a big win in my book. As a testament to the makeup, I forgot to take it off before I went surfing, and like look at the eyes. I think that speaks for itself. I've actually been filming this video for more than a week now, which is crazy because I'm still sitting at sub 10 hours of knitting, and I know that at home, if I'm invested in a project, I'm smashing out 10 hours of knitting in like 2 or 3 days. But in other news, I have lovely fresh blonde hair now, which I'm really happy with. And I also did a sterling silver jewelry making class. I already went there once and I made this ring like last month, but I checked their Instagram, and if you're a repeat customer, you only pay for like the going price of silver. So I made this pendant necklace. It's 10 grams of silver, which cost me like £38, I think it turned out as. And this took me and like 2 jewelers 6 hours to make. I wanted like a big-ish statement necklace on a leather cord for a while, but I never found anything that really spoke to me and wasn't like super expensive. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. And on the knitting front, I wanted this video to be like not monogamously knitting on one project. I wanted to knit on all 3 of my projects, but I'm afraid you're not going to see those socks or that sweater at all in this video anymore because I am just really invested in this top. This is what I've got so far. First I thought that like 0 ease would be fine for a fitted top, which I just obviously didn't think through. Then I thought like -1 or 2 inches would be right, and now I'm realizing I want some really negative ease, especially at the top of this. So I think the last time I checked in, I had some stuff to unravel and redo. That ended up taking me exactly an hour to get back to the same point in the ball of yarn that I was before. So a lot less work than I expected actually. And because I'm decreasing so much, each row was getting shorter and shorter, which is great. I am just about finishing my second bowl of this yarn. I only have 3 bowls of yarn, so it's actually a really good thing that this circumference is getting smaller and smaller, because it means that I'm less likely to run out. And I've just about got to the underbust. And oh, actually I wanted to mention, because I know I neglected to say this in my last check-in, but I'm also adding in like some cast-offs and then yarn overs to create small holes on this edge, and then I'm gonna add in either like a crochet chain or an I-cord and be able to cinch this in. I'm not 100% sure that it's gonna look good, but I've made the hole small enough that like it's not gonna be super noticeable if I don't put the chain in. So this is what's happening with this. It's kind of starting to take shape, and in terms of like ease, I just remeasured everything, remeasured my gauge just now. So this bottom hem fluctuates between 0 ease and +1 inch of ease, depending on what my stomach's doing at that moment in time. I'm now at pretty much the underbust area, and this is -4 inches of ease. And I was thinking about whether I want to increase again as I go up to like the armpit area, but I actually want this to be like a 1 shoulder top. I want like this bit to be low and this bit to be high, and there just to be like a complete asymmetric line going on with like this bit of ruching. And so I need the armpit area to be really fitted so that it feels like actually secure and not like it's gonna always slip down. And if I pull this up, this is still like not super stretched out. Like there's still plenty of leeway here. I really don't want it to fall down, so I am just going to keep decreasing even as like I get over the bust, just so that this bit is going to be nice and tight, and then I can continue and make 1 shoulder. I also have a metal O-ring that I'm hoping to attach like right here and do some fun stuff with the fabric so that that bit is ruched. I don't know if that's going to be too much ruching happening, but I am so like hyper focused on having this vision come to life that I'm just not interested in knitting those socks. I want to see this completed. I want to get all my thoughts down on paper. I am writing down like what I'm doing every step of the way. I'm having to scribble out so much because I keep changing my mind, so that potentially I could replicate this. Maybe if I actually figure out what I'm doing with the ease and stuff, I could even write a pattern. And I'm seriously hoping that in the next 2 hours of knitting, I'm going to be able to make some more serious progress on this so that you can see what it's going to look like when it's done. Really reached a crossroads with this top, because I was just putting it on to check the length, and I think I'm almost there, maybe like 1 more inch and the boy will be done. But I don't actually know if I want to do this big asymmetric strap anymore, because with the hem I'm worried it's just going to be too much, and I'm really liking how this is looking, and maybe I should just do like 2 like kind of skinny straps, and then the top would be done so much faster. I really don't know. I could do like skinny straps and O-rings, but then I don't know, like I think the O-ring detail's really fun, but if I want to add like a ruche here, there's just going to be so much going on. I think I'm trying to put too many ideas at once into one top. I've only got half an hour left until I hit the 12-hour mark. So if I do the skinny straps, I can finish the top. If I do the asymmetric big thing, which I think I really need to match the angle that's going on at the bottom, right? Like it's not gonna look good unless it's like really just like one big line. I mean, it's a really nice crossroads to be at, right? Like I like 2 different ideas so much that I don't know which one to go with, considering I was like really unsure about this design to begin with, and that I've never designed like anything before. Yeah, it fits really well considering this is an insane amount of negative ease. My 12 hours are up. I've actually exceeded my self-imposed time limit by 10 minutes because I got really stuck into this, and I want to show you like an almost completed version of this top, but I've just tried it on and I realized like I need to rip it back. I came to my senses with the idea of just pursuing some little straps for this top because those sort of tops look nice in photos, but in reality it's like a whole lot of doing this all day and it's just not practical. Whereas I think my original idea will be structured enough to wear. So this is what I've gotten up to. I've done the majority of the asymmetry, but I did like 3 decreases on this side and it's just sitting too centrally. It needs to sit like over here instead of in the front. I think I might even add the O-ring in. I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of a small O-ring. I think it will ruche up this little bit nicely. I think it would look better if it was like a bigger, more statement ring. I'm gonna fold this over like the same way you would do like a folded over collar on a sweater. So if I hate it, I can just undo that and like seam these 2 bits together. Oh, the sun's come. Okay, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing lighting wise. So again, no harm trying. With the ruching, no harm trying, because the holes that I made, oh, this is really on squint. Oh yeah, I put it on really squint. This is actually where this is sitting. And yeah, it needs to be like a full inch over to my right. I don't know if you can actually see the little holes that I've added in to do a cord. They are like kind of noticeable sometimes, but not to a point where it would really like annoy me if I decided to not put a cord through them and wear the top like this. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself, oh my god. I swear I've been thinking about making this since like June. It's very obviously like a summer top, but now I'm thinking like maybe if this looks good when it's done, I could write a pattern and become a pattern designer or something, I don't know. We'll have to see how this bottom hem comes out with blocking. I also have like a bright idea of like, if I can put a coin and sew it around, maybe that will weigh it down a bit, but maybe it'll weigh it down too much. We'll see, a lot of trial and error. I guess to answer the question of how much I could knit in 12 hours, it's almost a full top and like half a pair of socks, or half of one of a pair of socks, which is crazy. I feel like if I actually hadn't worked on the socks at all in this video, I could have had a finished top here to show you. I would continue on like knitting this to show you the finished object, but I'm actually leaving Sri Lanka really soon and I've got a lot of stuff to do before I leave, so I don't think I'm actually going to finish this until I'm back home, which is where you'll see me next. It's such a shame, I really don't want to leave here. I love this country so much. If you're looking for a holiday destination, this place is amazing. This retreat is amazing. I'm so proud of my friend and what she's done with this place. I can't wait to see what more she's gonna do with it. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this format of video. I really liked filming it. It's really low stress for me. And I would be so down to do this again, but like maybe 24 hours or maybe like a work week, like 35 hours of knitting, and see what I can make. But yeah, let me know. I hope you're doing well and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!